my bro. He's back in action. And if you want to know how deep it is to go cave diving is one thing, but exploring the mine is something else, yeah? Put your hands up and give a warm welcome to Kian Lie.
Hello. Okay. Good afternoon. Thank you for MIDE for allow us this opportunity to give a presentation here. Today, my topic is about the journey to uncover the mystery of cave diving in Malaysia. So today, I basically will share the journey, the procedure, how we going to explore a cave. So before we start, I will show you our early days cave exploration video. So we have started with Dr. Azahar. So two of us, we explore quite many places in, I would say, in Peninsular Malaysia, from Pahang, Perak, and Perlis. So during the initial days, we don't really have a full set of the cave diving equipment or caving equipment, but we try our best to explore whatever we can during that times. So here is the one of the cave in the Perlis. Due to some technical issue, but I think with the skill we have nowadays, we will revisit some of this cave. So slowly we are growing. We have more members to join us. Yeah. So this is the mine at Sungai Lembing. When the time we told people that we're going to dive here, at Sungai Lembing, people is wondering what we are doing here. Actually, there is quite a, I would say, a big chamber and labyrinth at Sungai Lembing, Pahang. So this is our early days, how we dive. With little knowledge, but we are learning and learning to get our equipment to be what we are today. So most of the cave we dive here mostly is mines. Due to the topology and West Malaysia, I think our water level is quite high. In order for us to find a place to dive, not so easy, and then the logistics also not easy. Mine is the place that we can dive here. So we also dive famous, the Sipadan Tertentum cave. I think everyone know. Even though here is quite easy to dive, but to advise, make sure you have a full cave training certified. Then only you dive inside this cave. It's a very nice cave at Sipadan. To start with, this is our early day member. About 5 people at the beginning. So this is our so-called core team to do the cave exploration in Malaysia. So nowadays we're making more and more friends from different social levels, some university, local agency, and some local people together. We work on several kind of projects. We're growing more and more people. So every time before I talk, I will always come with the risk in cave diving. So make sure you are properly trained before you go inside any overhead environment to dive in. So anything below 40 meters in cave diving, overhead environment, consider is a deep diving. So make sure your gas planning and so on is properly done. So make sure there is a continuous guideline before you enter into the cave. Gas management, 1/3 of rules, and always carry redundant light, backup light, backup mask, backup air, and so on. Okay, today I would like to share about, how we explore cave in Malaysia. So before we do identify the location of the cave or mines, we do research. So we will talk to the local people and open up some maps, identify the location, where is the potential, the place that we're going to explore, and so on. Other than that, also we based on some information from the previous like pioneer diving, like from Idrio, this is Sipadan Tertentum Cave, mapped by Idrio Group by 2012, and some other research or paper that published by some people before. So we will identify where is the the mining area before. So other than this, we also identify some other, based on some old articles, we also do research at, various mines in Malaysia. Another one is at the Raub. So we did some research and I did go to the site visit and then identify the location where we can dive. But somehow, this is gold mining due to maybe there is a possible arsenic, toxic kind of thing left behind. So we decided to put this project later on. Actually, it's quite interesting. There is many so-called the place to go in, the diving in, but some of this entry been covered by the locker due to the safety, because some kids play around the area, they might fall down. So some of the entrance they close. But we managed to find a place that's possible to dive. But later we'll see how we will proceed on this. So also, after doing the research, the place that we want to dive, then we need to know what is the purpose we want to go there to dive. In the old days when we started cave exploration, basically we just want to, explore to see what is not yet been seen by the normal people. But nowadays when we do exploration, we do research, we come with a purpose why we want to go there. So maybe we need to see on the old map, some history part. So what the purpose and what we're going to expect to see around this area. So example, we might want to see the fossil under the water. So this is one of in the Perak. So this is a fossil found somewhere in the Sulawesi. It's quite very old. So or we want to explore to see some cave painting. Actually a lot quite at the Kinta Valley. Also we try to document whatever species that we find. Maybe we will find some new species. After we find some interesting thing inside the cave, we will show to some expert what we found basically. So you may see some weird creatures at the cave area, underwater cave that are not normally seen by people. You also may see some leftover from the past, the pottery, something like this. I will say this is found at the Kinta Valley. After we check, it's about 100 years old. So after we do research and define our purpose, of course, we will have to form a team to go for the explorations. So every time, we will have a group of people. Every one of us will have our own skill, our own strength. So everyone have to work for the trip. So during the trip, we share the knowledge to guide the youngest to be part of the cave exploration team. So example, we give some training and guidance and some of this area to teach how to do caving safely. So we need to teach and share our knowledge to build up more people that are able to benefit or enjoy cave exploration with us, because we need them. We also want to develop the future that I know this activity is getting more and more people involved in this extreme activity, I would say. So safety is one of the concerns, because in our early day when we do these things, many people ask about us how we do this activity. But I think it's our responsibility to tell this activity actually is quite dangerous, extreme, but with the proper knowledge, I believe you're able to do the exploration or caving or this extreme activity safely. So every time before we start an activity, we will do briefing as well to ensure everyone aware what we are going to do, Are you ready? Can you swim? Or you have any issue on in the dark area and so on. Okay, after that, for every trip, before we do start our cave exploration, so we will spend the time to check the equipment for the exploration. Make sure they are in the good condition. So we will put out our gear, we will test our gear to minimize the failure that may happen. So of course, other than diving equipment, also we have to ensure, because when we do cave diving, it's not just about the cave diving equipment, but also those dry caving SRT equipment. So, example, our friend Injek Rosman, he is an expert or instructor in the technical caving. So he will inspect all the equipment, whether it's good or not okay, before we go explore. So, of course, after every time the exploration, the problem is you have to make sure your equipment clean and store it properly. So after that, every dive we have to develop a dive plan. So the dive planning, including that we need to know about the way we are going to go, how deep we are going to dive today, and how long. Because even though sometimes, for my personal, normally I will dive to about 25 meters for the new cave or new locations. So anything beyond 25, I will not go beyond for the first round. So I will talk to my team member. Today we are going to dive to 25 meters. So if the visibility is good, we will try to search a passage. We will tell the purpose, what we're going to do. So we will not do anything beyond what we plan. Because all this cave is a new cave and unexplored cave. You never know what is going to happen down there. So make sure we plan after we know certain cave, we know their depth. We need to do our dive planning about the gas. So example, we want to do 100-meter dive. What is the gas planning we need to do? Trimix, the deco stop, the tank, and so on. So if there is a restriction, so we will tell to the team member that join with us to make them clear how tight is the restriction. Are they comfortable? So if they are not comfortable, and it's okay. So we can turn on, just cancel the dive or turn off, then just go back to the surface. So all these things we will have to plan prior to a dive. And of course, I would like to highlight, mostly we dive in Malaysia is under the mines. So we have to very clear how dangerous is the mines. So mines is not a natural cave, it's a man-made. So all this structure inside here is easily I would say, peel off. So some location, when we go through in the underwater mines, they normally were supported by this kind of rock. This kind of rock, like wood, you see? They have some supporting here. So if some places that they don't have any support, we must be very careful. So we have to stay there for a while, check around, because we will blow out our bubble. So when our bubble hit the ceiling, they may have something will fall down. So it happened. Actually, there's some rock inside there hit my helmet before. So make sure when you dive, your helmet is a must. So this is one of the video I will show is at the Gua Masurat. I think the cave diving forum before Eric explained the situation, how difficult to dive in the cave in Malaysia, I would say. So this is one of the natural cave at the Gua Masurat. So this silt, avalanche, actually is fall down after we go to the second restriction. So after we go to the second restriction, the width will become almost zero. So we need to go quite fast beyond the silt to lay the line. And you can see here the surface is very smooth. It's very hard to find a place to tie off. So however, we still have to find some way to tie. But the visibility will get very bad soon due to the silt avalanche after we pass through the second restriction. Because the second restriction is very small. There is no way we definitely have to crawl on the ground, then call all this silt come out. but somehow we still can get the width quite okay in front of me, so I can know where I want to go. But to find a place to tie here is quite difficult. So here is still a lot to explore, but due to the difficulties, we only allow the experienced cave diver to go inside this cave, because here is actually quite dangerous, I will put it this way. So I can only tie at a little small stalactite, I would say, whatever there. So it's very hard to find the place to tie. So a simple like swim, all the seed will come out. So the next one is when we do cave exploration and caving, we definitely need to get the permission, either from the local agency or the landowner or whoever. So nowadays, as a MCDA, we are actually under the Fire Rescue Department Bomba. So we have some time to like share what we are doing to Bomba, to let them know what we are doing. So anything happens, so we can collaborate together. So sometimes we also organize some trip to bring Bomba to come over to visit the site, to show them what the activity we are going to do. So in order to let them understand the risk that we involve, so that we can apply some permit to explore some other location later on. So of course, we also will go into the forest reserve location. To apply the permit is necessary. So example, we go to this at the Kinabatangan, Sukau area, we apply the permit from the local agency. And then also we identify the boatman that allowed to bring for our trip. So this is the picture from I take from the Sulawesi. Both of the left and right is the landowner, or one of the, I will say, quite a fabulous cave we found at the Sulawesi. So we talk to the landowner first, ask the permission before we go into their area to dive. Okay, the next one is we conduct a risk assessment. So the risk assessment here involves us as the water condition. So whether the visibility, the cave collapse, gas management, navigation difficulties. So as our friend at the Cave Diving Forum mentioned, in Peninsula, the cave here is quite challenging due to the logistic and the structures. So of course there is a crystal clear water cave, but in order to reach the area, it's not that easy. So this is one of the challenges. We have to go inside it's a para-mines we call. So there is an entry point beyond after this small tunnel. So all of us have to crawl inside this tunnel with all the equipments. Imagine you have to carry 6 to 8 tanks, and with the full gears, it takes about, I would say, 3 hours. In order for us to pass this just about 300 meter tunnels. So this is another one, okay. So other than that, sometimes we will identify some possible positive dive locations. This one like hanging. Okay. So some of the passage is quite, I would say, is quite tight. So you can see here, when we swim inside here, basically we swim, I would say, not like the normal swim, but vertical to swim inside here. So due to the tight location, so when you go inside, the water is crystal clear. Definitely it's clear, but when you come out that time, the width is already become 0. Anyway, it's okay. We skip this one. I think it's lagging. So after beyond this tunnel, we found another quite an interesting dive site, I would say. So after the restriction, we find another quite promising dive site. So which we haven't tried yet. So what I mean is, for us in order to reach this area, there's a lot of things we need to consider. So you can see from down there is they put all the ladder. That means definitely some activity down there before. Okay. Other than that, I'm going to show you other like the, not say I mean the challenges, because I mean I believe not a lot of diver they've been dived to the H2S layer below the hydrogen sulfide, which is a toxic gas. Happen when you in the lake when the water is quite stagnant, it will form kind of H2S layer. So this layer is considered toxic layer, but anything beyond the H2S layer, actually the view down there is very beautiful. So is this how it look like in the Tasik Canyon? So you will see the dead root. Actually the view down there is totally different, but it's a very nice experience to dive in. But in order to dive here, you need to go down about 30 meters, pass through the H2S layer, then you will get this kind of dive. So all this kind of the, I would say the hazardous or the risk, we need to identify, to tell to the team member before we go into dive. So communication. So basically, we need to maintain our communication during the exploration. The easiest way one is using the walkie-talkie. It's quite helpful for us to coordinate our logistic, communication, and so on. So another way is we're using a drone nowadays to identify location. So example, because you see, when we see from the far, it's easy to see the cave is here. But somehow I'm still up there. So we use the drone, some communication device, in order for me to pinpoint the actual location. Okay, we come to the logistic. So logistic, I will consider one of the hardest thing to explore cave in Malaysia. So you can see here, these our so-called our friends to help on the logistic to carry the stuff, and so on. So as I say, some mines, some gear you need to do. So after you have after the trip, I mean to move out all the gear in this kind of dirty environment. Imagine to clean this stuff. I don't know how many hours we spend. It's really hard to do, I would say. Yeah. So every time I say before we start, we brief the team. Sometimes our team is our normal dive buddy, but sometimes we include some other new members, like this is from the JMG, or this is our local friend from Kinta Valley. So before each trip, we will brief them what is going to happen, what they will see, they will expect to see inside the cave, and then what is the safety they need to know. Okay, so monitoring the weather condition. So we found one quite interesting cave example. You know, I mean, in the cave, natural cave, we will have to like watch out about the example the water level. If you all remember about the cave, I mean the Thailand case, the issue on the cave flooding. So same as us. So when we go inside a natural cave, we are basically to identify what is the highest point possible for the cave. So before to enter, so when we enter a cave, then we will see, okay, this water level will actually flooded the whole cave. So those caves, we have to go only during the dry seasons. You have to depends on the weather, I would say. Also, there is some cave that the water will up and down. I mean the high tide and low tide. So we do some kind of the small study. We put down all the date and time, and then collect. I mean, based on the weather, the waterfall collection, and the moon phases to see how it related to some of the cave around the Kinta Valley. So after all those planning, I think I think we are ready to like go for a dive. So I will show you some of the video that we dive in Malaysia. So this is mines diving at Pahang, Sungai Lembing. Actually, this is considered a quite clear place to dive. So we have laid about 1 kilometer line around these mines. So the deepest part for this Sungai Lembing mines is about 50 meters explored so far. So of course there's a deeper and a longer distance, but we can only do using the CCR later on. So the next one is the recently explored at the Perak mines. So this one will show the journey that from our preparation until the end of the dive. This mine is located near the Gua Tempurung. So there's no choice. We have to carry our own equipment to go through about 400 meters in the jungle in order to reach the entrance of the mines. So this mine is about 33 meters deep. It's quite easy mines to dive in. It's not like the Lembing or like those in the police. It's just a straight down multi-level deck. So it's easy to navigate, and actually you won't get lost if you're familiar with the mine structure. Yeah, I think This is about my presentation for 2 days. If you have any question, you can ask. If free to ask, if you have. Okay, so thank you.
All right, meanwhile, thank you very much, Kian Lie. That was a topic called Uncover the Mysteries of Cave Diving in Malaysia. Right, coming up shortly in a few moments from now to our next topic.